Hey guys, today I'm finally going to be showing you some more of my K-pop collection. Today we're going to be taking a look at the boy groups. Once again, these are loosely arranged in order from my least favorite out of the ones I collect to my favorite. This is not including my ultimate group, which is BAP, because I did a separate video on that collection. So today we're actually going to start off with a couple albums that aren't technically K-pop. So the first two items that I have to show you today are albums by the actor Jung Gun-suk. This is his album Just Crazy. And then I also have his Nature Boy album. Now he's actually a Korean actor, but he records music in Korean and Japanese, I believe. These are both Japanese releases, but I still wanted to show them to you as part of the set because he is a Korean actor. And the second thing I have to show you are two CD singles by the Korean rock band Walrus. This is their first single album, which has 3 songs. And the track listing for this single album is To Be, Mosaic, and Soul Witch. And as you might can see from the picture here, the lead singer of this band is the Korean actor Kim Jae-uk, and I really like his voice, and I like some of the shows he's been in. And the movie Antique is where I first found out about him, and that is a great movie. He doesn't have the greatest singing voice, but I really like his style of music. Rock is one of my favorite genres, so it's nice to kind of have a little bit of that rock sound sort of in the K-pop scene, but not really in the K-pop scene because they are an indie band. And then their second single album also has 3 songs. It has the instrumental Reorganize, and then It's Alright and Summer Rain. I don't think it's going to be very easy to track physical copies of those down because they're out of stock on Yes Asia, and most of the other K-pop sites don't sell them at all. I got really lucky and found Music Korea, which was selling those CDs, and I purchased them because I really loved the albums. And I guess I bought the last ones because they were immediately out of stock. But both single albums are available to purchase on iTunes if you would like to check them out and see what they sound like. I highly recommend them, especially if you like rock. Okay, so moving on, we have a couple groups that I purchased albums from but I don't plan to collect anymore. Both of these albums actually are up for sale, quote your own price. The first thing we have is the Taiwanese edition of Beast's 5th mini album, Midnight Sun. I really like the album. I especially love the title song, Beautiful Night, but it's the only Beast album I have, and I don't feel a desire to collect Beast, especially after Hyunsung left, and I believe there's talk now that none of the members are going to renew their contract with Cube, so they will probably disband soon. And then the other album that I have from a group I don't collect anymore is Block B's first full-length album, Blockbuster. Once again, I really like the music. It has some really great songs on it, like Mental Breaker, and of course the title, Nilili Mambo. But I don't follow Block B anymore. I didn't really enjoy the sound that they came back with as much. I liked Very Good, but I wasn't a huge fan of her. And I didn't even listen to Toy or Zico's solo album because Zico said some problematic things that I'm really not a fan of, so I don't really have any intentions of following the group, even though I really did like their early music. So once again, both of these albums are up for sale. If you're interested in buying them, just let me know, and we can probably work out a price. And then we have a newer group that I'm not sure if I'm going to collect yet or not. I don't have any intentions of selling this yet, though, because I do really, really love this album, and that is SM Entertainment's new boy band NCT, their first mini album NCT number 127. This is technically only a mini album from the group NCT 127. I'm not totally sure what SM's plan is with all the units, which is why I'm not sure if I'm going to collect them. But this is a really, really good album, and I got it for like $10 because I bought it without the photo card. So for that deal, I was like, yeah, I really do want this album for that price. And then another group that I don't really collect anymore, but that I'm not currently planning on selling these albums, I just don't really have plans to buy their other albums, is Big Bang. So I have Big Bang's 4th mini album. This is the one with the title song Tonight. I just have the regular edition of that. And then I also have their 5th mini album, Alive. Yes, mine is horribly, horribly rusted. And I have the G-Dragon version of that. Once again, it's just the regular version, not the Still Alive repackage. And then I also have the Subunit album, which is GD and TOP's first album. Originally I'd wanted to get GD's solo albums as well, but I probably will pick them up one day, but I'm in no rush to. I don't really like collecting YG groups, I've realized. And then next we have another boy band from SM Entertainment. I do plan to continue collecting the group, but I am thinking about selling most of the albums I currently have by them, and that is EXO. I have the EXO-K version of their first mini album, Mama, which this one I am going to keep. And then I have the EXO-K version of their first album, XOXO. This is one with the title track, Wolf. It is the normal version, not the repackage, which includes the song Growl. And then I also have the XOM version of Exodus. This is Tao's version, and I purchased this right before he announced he was leaving the group, because I was just starting to get into EXO and I had Tao as my bias, and then he left, which is part of the reason I'm considering selling that. I think I'm going to sell XOXO and Exodus because I really only like EXO for the music. I don't have a bias in the group, so I don't plan to collect their photo cards or anything, and I don't really care about having all the different photo books either. So what I think I want to do is sell these and then get the repackaged versions of the XOXO that has Growl and then the Love Me Right album. I also want to purchase Lotto at some point, but I'm not sure exactly when that will be. But yeah, if you would like to purchase either of these albums from me, make me an offer and we can probably work something out. I also have Lay's photo card for the XOXO album. And then another group that I mostly collect for the music is FT Island. And I have 3 albums from FT Island. I have their 5th full-length album, I Will, and their 6th full-length album, Where's the Truth? I have the Truth version, I believe that one is, and the False version. And that is currently all I have from FT Island because I'm pretty new to the group, but I really do enjoy their sound and I look forward to getting into more of their discography and finding out more about them. And now we can move on to my bigger boy group collections. These are the ones that I'm more serious about collecting, and I don't think I'm going to have the room to show all of them like I've been doing for the past few. So the next one is CN Blue. I have their first mini album, Blue Tory. Trying to see if I can get it all in frame. I also have their second mini album, Blue Love. I have their first full-length album, First Step, the regular edition. And then I also have the limited edition of First Step with a giant photo book. I also have the limited edition of Earfun. I have Minhyuk's version, as Minhyuk is my CN Blue bias. I do not have the normal version of Earfun. And then I also have the special Minhyuk edition of Re Blue. I got pretty lucky with those albums. I did not think I was going to find them, but I found them all secondhand this year for really decent prices, which I was amazed with. Except that one. That one I purchased new from Music Korea with the Walrus albums. I also have the regular version of Re Blue. And I had purchased the regular versions of Re Blue and First Step because I didn't think I would find the limited editions anywhere. And then a couple months later I found the limited editions, and that's why my CN Blue collection ended up so giant. I also have their 5th mini album, Can't Stop. I have the regular version. And I also have Can't Stop 2. I'm not sure if it was a repackage or a version B or a repress, excuse me, because I think this one was out of print for a while. Let's just start laying them on top there because I don't have room to show everything. And then I also have CN Blue's second full-length album, Together. I forget which one is version A and version B, but I do have both versions of that. And that was the first CN Blue album which I purchased. And finally, we have their most recent Korean release, which is their 6th mini album, Blooming. Once again, I have versions A and B. I do not currently have any of their Japanese albums. I don't know if I'm going to collect St. Blue's Japanese stuff or not, because I really do enjoy the music, but I'm not a fan of the jewel case packaging, and they don't have photo cards as an incentive for me to purchase them. So I probably will get at least the full albums one day, at least a couple of them, but it's not a big priority of mine. And so the next one that I'm going to show you is New East, and I have New East's complete Korean discography, I do believe. So that is their first single album, Face. I believe that album is out of print now. I purchased most of these a few years ago, so I was pretty lucky in that I got them before they got rare and out of print. And then I also have their first mini album, Action. And then I also have New East's second mini album, Hello. I actually have 2 copies of this. This is the one that I originally bought, which was the normal version. And then this year I was lucky enough to find someone on eBay selling their limited edition version, which comes with this huge giant photo book, The Moments. And then it also just has another regular version of the album. So I have an extra copy of New East Hello if anyone wants to purchase that. I actually have 2 photo cards that I can give you with it. I have one of Aaron's and one of Menhyun's. So if you're interested, just message me and we can hopefully work something out. Then I also have their 3rd mini album, Sleep Talking. I have their first full-length album, Rebirth. And I'm not going to show you the whole thing, but I have JR's Jacket. I originally had Baeko's, but I traded with my friend Carr because she wanted Baeko, and JR is my second bias in the group. Rin is my first. And then I also have their special single album, I'm Bad. Not a huge fan of that song, but, and I couldn't even tell you what the second song on the album sounds like. That's how little I listen to it. But I do really like New East, and I like to support them, so that was why I purchased it. And then I also have their releases from this year. I have their 4th mini album, Q Is. I really, really love the songs on this. This is honestly a contender for one of my favorite albums of the year so far. Sorry about that. And then finally, last but not least, we have their most recent release, their 5th mini album, Canvas. I actually don't like this as much as Q Is, but it's still a pretty good album. It does kind of continue the same sound that they had in Q Is, and I really like that sound for New East. I think it's a good fit for them. I don't have any of New East's Japanese albums. I don't think I'm going to get them because I listened to Bridge the World recently, and I honestly wasn't a huge fan of most of the songs, so I'm probably not going to buy that album. But I do have one of Aaron's photo cards from it. I got that as a freebie in a trade, so if you're interested in that, let me know. I will have a photo card collection video up soon showing all the photo cards that I want to sell and trade. So this next group, I currently only have 2 albums from in my physical possession, but I have purchased all of their other albums except one. And that is Monsta X. Right now, I only have the Clan Part 1, Lost. I have the Lost and the Found version. I did pre-order the Guilty albums, but they've shipped to me. They just haven't arrived in the mail yet. And then I also went back and I ordered Trespass and one of the versions of Rush. I think it was the official version. I got the gray one. So I don't have the secret version of Rush yet, but I do plan on having, at least one version of all of their albums. I have purchased them. They just haven't arrived to me yet. So right now my Monsta X collection looks really, really sad, but it's not going to for long because I've really gotten into Monsta X recently. I think they along with 17 are my favorite rookies of last year. I think it was they debuted. I really like Monsta X's music. For me, they're kind of filling the hole that Block B left after I stopped following Block B. To me, they have a similar kind of sound, and Juhan's voice is even a little bit reminiscent of Zico's at times. And for some people, that could be a bad thing. They could view Monsta X as Block B wannabes, but considering I no longer follow Block B, for me, it's just another reason why Monsta X is awesome. And then I feel like no K-pop collection nowadays is complete without this group because they have just blown up into such a phenomenon, which is kind of crazy for me because I remember when they debuted and everyone was like, who is this new group that's trying to be hip-hop and trying to be cool? And now it's like they're everywhere and they're on top of the world, and I'm happy for them, I have to say. And that, of course, is BTS. And I have BTS's first single album. Yes, it's a single album. Too Cool for School. And I got that not long after it came out because I really enjoyed the songs on it. Especially We Are Bulletproof. I love that one. And then I also have their first mini album, Oh Are You Late Too? And their second mini album, I believe, School Love Affair. And this album is kind of special to me because it is the only K-pop album that I physically purchased in a store. I got it from a K-pop shop in New York when I went to go see BAP in concert for the very first time. I know, I saw BAP and I bought a BTS album. Like, what rivalry? And then I also have their first full-length album, Dark and Wild. And this album is also special to me because I actually won it on Tumblr in a giveaway that my friend Amy did. So that was pretty awesome that I won a giveaway, first of all, and secondly that it was done by my friend. And I swear it was not rigged. It was just completely rigged. Because she has like 1,000 followers, so it was totally random. And by 1,000, I mean like thousands of probably. She's like really famous. And then I also have their first Japanese album, Wake Up. I believe this is the normal edition. I'm not sure if I'm going to collect their Japanese stuff or not. I wasn't a huge fan of Youth, but I've only listened to it once. So I may change my mind. But as of right now, I just have Wake Up. And I'm not going to collect the singles for them. I already know that. And then, of course, there's also their, I'm probably going to pronounce this wrong, Hwayong Younghwa, something like that. I believe it translates to the most beautiful moment in life. But I have the pink version of part 1, and that's the only version I have of part 1 because I think there's only a couple pages that are different. But I do have both the blue and the peach versions of part 2 because I really liked both of the photo concepts there. And once again, I'm running out of room, but I only have one album left, and that is the night version of their Young Forever repackage of part 1 and part 2. I don't plan on purchasing the day version because I'm not a huge fan of that concept. I did pre-order their new album, Wings. I got a random version because I didn't know which ones. I didn't originally plan to get all 4, but I probably will end up getting all 4 at some point because I do really like the photo book concepts. I know most people who are BTS fans are like huge hardcore stans to the group. I'm actually not a huge stan. I don't know the members that well. I'm really mostly here for their music, and their music really is amazing, which is why I have so many of their albums. But I wouldn't call them a top favorite in terms of what normally defines a K-pop favorite, but their music is so good that they end up at my top anyway, if that makes sense. And now the next group is actually kind of the opposite of that. I really, really loved their early music, but their last few title tracks just haven't been doing it for me the way that their early stuff did. But I do continue to collect them, largely because I really like their photo book concepts. And that is VIX. Once again, I think I have all of their Korean discography. I have their first single album, Superhero, which was their debut. I also have their second single album, Rock Your Body. I really love that one. And then I have their third single album, On and On, or I'm Ready to Get Hurt, which I think is a Korean title. Then we have their first mini album, Hide. Really love that song. As well as the repackage of that album, which is, of course, Jekyll. You can't have Hide without Jekyll. Then we have their first full-length album, Voodoo. And this is probably an unpopular opinion, but for me, this is where Vicks kind of reached their musical peak. I love almost every song on this album and almost every song on Hide and most of the songs on the singles. But after this, I just don't like their music as much. There's a few songs that I like a lot, but the title tracks after Voodoo, to me, just don't have the same power that some of the B-sides on Hide and Voodoo did. And I know that's probably going to be a really unpopular opinion, but I do still love Vicks, and they are still one of my favorite groups. So that's just my perspective, personally. I did really like Eternity, though. I do have to say, I did really enjoy that song. But the B-sides for me were kind of forgettable because it was only a single album. And this was would have been their fourth single album. I had to do the math in my head real quick. And then we have their second mini album, Error. I feel like most people really loved the Eternity and Error concepts, and I was just kind of meh towards them. But like I said, I still have all the albums. They're still one of my favorites, so I'm not, hating on them. It's just constructive criticism. Then we have Boys Record, which was a special single album. It's a little more cutesy than their normal stuff, but, for what it was a cute single. And then we have Chained Up. I have the Control version, and I also have the Freedom version. And then this year, Vicks has been doing the Conception series, which so far has resulted in 2 single albums. Their 5th single album, Zealous, which had the title track Dynamite. I like Dynamite a lot, and I also like one of the B-sides, 6 Feet Under. But to me, Dynamite sounds more like a Shiny song than a Vicks song. But that was kind of their concept. They were going for a more fun song, so I think they succeeded there. And then there's also their 6th single album, Hades, which I absolutely love the B-side, Love Me Do. That's a great song. It was actually written by Bong Young-gook of BAP, which might be why I love it so much. But for me, Fantasy just didn't deliver the way I wanted an underworld concept to deliver for Vicks. It's a good song, but it doesn't reach the heights of Voodoo or Hide to me. I'm not hating on Vicks. I'm not going to stop following them or stop collecting them, but it's just my personal opinion on the music. They're supposed to have a comeback on October 31st with the third part of Conception, which I've heard is Kratos. I might be pronouncing that wrong, but I believe that's the god of war. So hopefully with that and the fact that it's on Halloween, maybe this time Vicks will finally deliver what I've been wanting from them again. I really hope they do, because I really do love Vicks, and I'm not ever going to stop following them, but I have been a little disappointed that they haven't matched the awesomeness of their early stuff, for me personally. Next up, we have a really new group. They just debuted last year. I had to do the math. I didn't get into them until it was either really late last year or really early this year. One of my friends got me into them, and it's been a terrible slippery slope that I haven't been able to get back from. And of course, that is the one and only 17. I slipped into that time in life, and now I can't slip out. Which I feel like is the story of everyone who is into 17. They don't mean to stan them, and then they're stan. It just happens. You can't resist the Diamond Life. So I have their first mini album, 17 Karat. I don't remember if I said that or not. Then I also have both versions of their second mini album, Boys B, the Hide and the Seek version. I only have one version of Love and Letter, and that is the letter version. It has gotten a little dinged up at the corners from being on my shelf, sadly. I do plan to get the letter version at some point, but I'm just waiting to find the right price, because I do already have one version of this album, and I also have all of the photo cards that I could want from it, so I don't really want to pay, I don't want to pay more than $20 for it, and it's a heavy album, so it's hard to find it for less than that. Speaking of heavy albums, we have the special edition of their repackage of Love and Letter, Adieu Nice, or Very Nice. And the special edition, of course, comes with the normal version, much like their label mate New East's Hello, and as well as a special DVD of their Boys Wish concert and a special photo book from that concert. And finally, this is how you know I had become 17 trash. The gigantic 17-13-24 photo book and the accompanying postcard book. Yep, 17 trash. So I think that is, other than love, I think I have just about every 17 album or photo book you could possibly want. I've heard there's rumors they're having a comeback this month or next month. And BAP are also rumored to have a comeback this month or next month, along with Vicks. It's going to be the first week of October all over again, isn't it? Once again, my number one boy group is BAP, but I'm not going to show you my BAP albums here because I have a separate video for that because I have so many. And then my number two group overall is FX, the girl group. So this is actually my third group overall, but really first, second, and third are all kind of tied at this point because they're all super important to me. The last group that I have to show you today is SHINee. I actually have quite a few SHINee albums coming in the mail that I don't have physically yet. And I was going to wait for them to come in the mail, but then I got impatient and decided to film anyway. So, I have ordered their first album repackage, Amigo, as well as the Minho version of their second mini album, Romeo. I don't have Replay. I'm not currently planning to purchase Replay. I'll probably do it eventually, but it's not a priority. So the first one that we have here to start with is their third mini album, 2009, Year of Us. And this mini album is legendary for two reasons. Well, three really, but mostly two. It has the super iconic song Ring Ding Dong, and we also have Minho's glorious, glorious long hair. And I know some of you will probably think I'm being sarcastic about that, but no, I genuinely think... I'm getting so entranced here that I can't even speak, but I genuinely think Minho's long hair is attractive as fuck. So, I'm not being sarcastic one bit. And then Keith's hair was kind of legendary too, which is why I said three reasons, but nowhere near as legendary as Minho's. And we also have their second full-length album, Lucifer. I have version A. I don't have the repackage. I'm not currently planning on buying the repackage. Hello, because it doesn't have a photo card, but I'll get it eventually. Then we also have their first Japanese album, The First. This is the normal version. I bought it not that long ago on Amazon for really cheap, but they didn't tell me it was an ex-library copy, so it does have a couple little stickers that I'm not super pleased about being on my album, but, I mean, for that price, I'm not really going to complain, because I do already have both of the photo cards I wanted from it, which is why I bought the album. But, I mean, I wish they would have said it was an ex-library copy. Then we also have their fourth mini album, Sherlock. I have the Taemin version, as you can see here. Minho and Key are my biases, not Taemin. But Taemin was my first male bias ever when I first got into K-pop. And a big part of the reason why is because he had the long hair in Lucifer and Sherlock. And so when it came time to finally purchase a version of Sherlock, which I just did like a couple months ago, I went with Taemin for the nostalgia. And also because I didn't really like Minho's cover that much. I liked Keys, but they were sold out of Keys, so that was why I went with Taemin. And then this, I believe it was the first SHINee album I ever bought, back in 2013 when it first came out. And this is, of course, Dream Girl, The Misconceptions of You. Really love this album. This was the album that really got me into SHINee. I had heard of them when I first got into K-pop and listened to a lot of their stuff, but I didn't really get into them until that album came out. So, it's pretty important for me. Then I also have part 2, which is Why So Serious? The Misconceptions of You. Or of Me, excuse me. That's of You. I always get that confused. I don't have the repackage. I'm not currently planning to buy the repackage because it's just those two same things with one extra song each and then an extra photo booklet. And much like with the first, I do already have Minho and Key's photo cards for Misconceptions of Us, so I don't really see a need to buy the physical album. And then I have their second Japanese album, Boys Meet You. This is actually probably my favorite SHINee album, and probably one of my favorite K-pop albums ever, even though it's not technically K-pop because it's in Japanese. But I really, really love that album. All of the songs are amazing, especially the first song, Password. That is another level. Their fifth mini album, Everybody, is similarly amazing. And I feel like it's crazy to look back and think that all 4 of those albums came out in 1 year. That was such a good year for SHINee. I got into them at like the most beautiful time. And then both of those were the normal versions of the album, the simplest, bare bones version you could get. But for their third Japanese album, I'm Your Boy, I decided to step up a little bit and get I forget what they're actually called, but this is the version that has a CD and a DVD, and it's because it comes with a little bit nicer photo booklet. Also, Boys Meet You is the Taiwan edition. This is the Taiwan edition as well. I'm not sure about the first because I got it secondhand. And then we have SHINee's Odd album. Scary Clown made even scarier considering the current Scary Clown's terrorizing the US. I don't know what, I think it was plaguing was the word I was looking for. But anyway, the killer clown is not the point. The point is SHINee. And despite the creepy cover, this is an awesome album. And it has the incredibly awesome song, View. One of my favorite K-pop songs ever. Along with Lucifer. Those songs are both really iconic. I have version A and version B of Odd. I forget which one is which. This also has a Scary Clown. It might not focus. There it goes. See? What is with SHINee and Scary Clowns? They were sending us a message, guys. They were trying to warn us. And then I also have the repackage of those. Are you kidding me? SM, this is why we don't do jewel cases. Because literally just from sitting on my shelf, this album cracked. Jewel cases suck. I have their repackaged Married to Music. Try to ignore the scratches because I will try to ignore them and fix them after the video is over. And then finally, the last album that I currently have for SHINee as a whole group is DDD, their 4th Japanese album. Once again, this was the special version with CD and DVD. I'm not as big of a fan of this as I am of Boys Meet You and I'm Your Boy, but I probably just need to listen to it more. And of course, I'm sure you all know that SHINee recently came back with their 5th full-length album, One of One. I did pre-order both versions. I had got the CD version with 6 posters, and I also got the cassette tape version. I'm just waiting on those to be shipped to me. I purchased them from different places, actually, so I'm probably going to have the unboxings up in separate videos at different times, but I hope you guys still look forward to it. And then, in addition to SHINee's discography as a group, I also have some of their solo stuff. I actually don't have Two Hearts album. Even though Key is one of my SHINee biases, I don't really like that album, and I feel bad for saying that because I love Key, but it's just not my style of music. I'll probably buy it soon, though, because I do kind of want one of his photo cards to make my binder look a little nicer. But I do have all of Taemin's solos. I have his first mini album, Ace. Amazing album. Really, all of these albums are amazing. Like, that should go without saying. It's SHINee. And then I also have his first full-length album, Press It, with the awesome songs Drip Drop and Press Your Number. I got a random cover, so I ended up with that one. But I really do prefer the one where it's the picture of him kissing himself. But I'm probably not going to try to trade for it or anything, because it's not that big of a deal. And then I also have his Japanese solo album, Sayonara Hitori. This is the limited edition, I believe, with CD and DVD. It did not have a photo card, though, which was disappointing. I don't have all of Jonghyun's solos. I'm missing his special story album, because I haven't really listened to that album. I need to do it. It's on my to-do list, but for right now, I have his main releases. I have his first mini album, Bass, and I love the way the SM is kept, Bass and Ace, and then their first full-length album similar. I really love the unity there. Even when they're not promoting as a unit, SHINee are still one. And I also have Jonghyun's first full-length album, She Is. I really, really love that album. I really love all of those albums. SHINee just makes amazing music. So that was my K-pop boy group collection. As I mentioned in the girl group video, I'm not going to be showing you the photo cards because I'm going to make a separate video on those. Hopefully that will be up soon. But I will probably wait to do the photo card video until I get all of the albums that I have coming in the mail. But we'll see. I might get impatient like I did with this one. But yeah, all of the albums that I mentioned that I still have coming in, I am of course going to be doing haul videos. I will probably do the unboxing style for the new ones. Like, I'm definitely going to unbox the Monsta X albums because I haven't seen what those look like yet. Definitely going to unbox the SHINee ones. I also have a few more girl group albums coming in along with those packages, and I think I'm going to try doing unboxings for all of them because I am starting to enjoy that style a little bit more. But if you guys don't want that, if you'd prefer me to stick to my traditional haul style, I can do that as well. Just let me know what you'd like in the comments below. Let me know if you're interested in purchasing any of the albums I mentioned I have for sale. Like I said, make me an offer and we can probably work something out because I really just kind of want the extra cash so I can buy more photo cards and stuff, to be honest. There are more albums so that I can make more videos for you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think. And I'll see you soon with another haul video. Bye!